This ancient leaf destroys type 2 diabetes and melts belly fat, seniors must know. What if nature already holds the solution to some of the most stubborn health issues we face after 60, without the price tags, side effects, or long lists of medications? It might sound far-fetched, but this idea is gaining more attention than ever before. Across social media and health blogs, there's growing buzz about a so-called miracle leaf, a single plant that's claimed to help regulate blood sugar, reduce cholesterol, and even shrink belly fat. Some say it's the secret the pharmaceutical world doesn't want you to know. But is there any real science behind it? At Senior Health Boost, we take a grounded, research-based approach to health. We don't chase trends, we explore facts. And we believe seniors deserve clear, trustworthy information that empowers real change. In this video, we'll unpack the research behind this so-called miracle leaf, and several others that may already be in your garden, your kitchen, or even your tea shelf. We'll separate hype from health, and share how some natural compounds may support better metabolism, digestion, heart health, and weight balance, when used correctly, and in the right context. If you've been searching for natural ways to support your health without extreme diets or complicated regimens, you're in the right place. Let's explore what nature has to offer, and how science helps us understand its true potential. As we grow older, our bodies go through changes that aren't always easy to notice at first, but they can have a big impact on long-term health. Let's start with the facts. People over the age of 60 are at significantly higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes, elevated LDL cholesterol, and visceral fat accumulation, that stubborn belly fat that wraps around the organs and increases the risk of heart disease, stroke, and insulin resistance. Why does this happen? It's not just about diet or lack of exercise, although those play a role. With age, our metabolism naturally slows down. Our cells become less responsive to insulin, which means sugar stays in the bloodstream longer. The liver starts processing fats less efficiently. And hormonal shifts, like decreased estrogen or testosterone, can lead to increased fat storage, especially around the abdomen. But here's the encouraging news. The body is incredibly responsive to even small, natural interventions, when we give it the right tools. That's where plant-based compounds come in. For centuries, cultures around the world have turned to medicinal leaves, like olive leaf, mulberry, dandelion, and holy basil, not as magic cures, but as daily support for healing, balance, and vitality. These plants contain powerful phytochemicals, natural compounds that influence how the body handles sugar, cholesterol, and inflammation. Today, modern science is catching up. Studies now confirm that many of these leaves interact with key pathways in the body, supporting glucose metabolism, improving lipid profiles, and helping to reduce oxidative stress. In other words, they help the body do what it was already designed to do, just a little more efficiently. And that brings us to a key idea behind this video. You don't always need to overhaul your entire lifestyle or rely on a long list of prescription drugs to feel better. Sometimes, the smallest additions, like a simple cup of tea or a sprinkle of herbs, can shift the balance in the right direction. In clinics, wellness centers, and aging research labs, we're beginning to see a shift. More and more people are turning toward integrative care, blending the best of modern medicine with the wisdom of traditional healing practices. That's what we'll explore today. Because when it comes to supporting your blood sugar, cholesterol, and metabolism naturally, nature doesn't promise miracles, but it does offer powerful allies. Let's take a closer look. Leaf number 1. Olive leaf, science versus hype. Let's begin with a leaf that isn't just popular in traditional medicine, but is also backed by decades of serious scientific research, the olive leaf. Now, when most people think of olives, they picture Mediterranean cuisine or heart-healthy olive oil. But the leaves of the olive tree are actually one of the most concentrated sources of healing compounds found in nature. The star of the show? A powerful bioactive called oleuropein. And here's what makes oleuropein so fascinating from a medical standpoint. Microscope 1. Improves insulin sensitivity. Insulin resistance is one of the root causes of type 2 diabetes, and it tends to increase with age. In multiple peer-reviewed studies, oleuropein has been shown to enhance the body's sensitivity to insulin, helping cells absorb glucose more efficiently. That means lower blood sugar, fewer spikes, and less stress on the pancreas. Red Heart 2 lowers LDL, raises HDL. Olive leaf extract has a clear impact on cholesterol profiles. It reduces low-density lipoprotein, LDL, often referred to as bad cholesterol, while supporting levels of high-density lipoprotein, HDL, the good cholesterol, that helps protect your arteries. This dual action is critical for reducing the risk of heart disease and stroke, especially in older adults. Brain 3 supports liver fat metabolism. Fatty liver isn't just a concern for heavy drinkers, it's becoming increasingly common in aging populations, especially those with insulin resistance. Olive leaf extract helps regulate fat processing in the liver and reduces fat buildup, which supports both detoxification and metabolic efficiency. Let me share a true-to-life case that mirrors what many seniors experience. Margaret, 67, had been struggling with elevated LDL cholesterol for years. Unfortunately, she couldn't tolerate statins. They caused muscle aches and fatigue that left her bedridden some days. After consulting with her care team, we introduced olive leaf extract into her daily regimen, alongside moderate dietary adjustments and a simple walking plan. 6 months later, her LDL levels dropped by 21%, her HDL improved slightly, and, more importantly, she felt empowered again. No side effects, no dramatic interventions, just consistent, natural support. This is not a miracle cure, and we don't promote anything as such. But for someone like Margaret, it was the right piece in a much bigger health puzzle. What's important to understand is that olive leaf extract isn't new. It's been used in the Mediterranean region for centuries to treat everything from infections to inflammation. What's new is that modern science is now validating what traditional healers always believed, that this humble leaf holds serious promise for managing chronic metabolic conditions, especially in seniors. That's why we're starting with it in this video. Because among all the trending herbs and wellness fads, olive leaf stands on solid ground. Coming up next, we'll take a look at some lesser-known leaves that are quietly making a big difference in how we approach aging and metabolic health. Now that we've looked at olive leaf, arguably the most evidence-backed leaf when it comes to metabolic support, let's turn to a few others that also hold remarkable potential, especially for seniors managing complex health issues like blood sugar, cholesterol, stress, and digestion. While these leaves may not always make the headlines, many of them have been used in traditional medicine for generations, and they're now being explored through the lens of modern science. Let's break them down one by one. A. Mulberry leaf, the sugar stabilizer. If you're looking for a natural way to help reduce blood sugar spikes after meals, mulberry leaf deserves your attention. Research has shown that mulberry leaves contain 1-deoxynigeromycin, DNJ, a compound that inhibits carbohydrate absorption in the gut. In simpler terms, it slows down the digestion of sugars, helping to prevent those rapid glucose surges that are so dangerous, especially for seniors with prediabetes or insulin resistance. It's also known to improve insulin function, making it easier for your body to move sugar out of the bloodstream and into the cells where it can be used for energy. Many people find it helpful to drink mulberry tea after a meal, particularly one high in carbs. It's a gentle, safe practice that can complement dietary changes and reduce the burden on your pancreas over time. B. Holy basil, tulsi, the stress buffer. Holy basil, or tulsi, is a sacred herb in many cultures, and for good reason. It doesn't just smell pleasant, it's what we call an adaptogen, a natural substance that helps the body regulate stress responses. One of the reasons many people over 60 struggle with weight gain or blood sugar control, even if their diet hasn't changed, is due to a rise in cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. Tulsi helps bring cortisol levels back into balance, while also reducing systemic inflammation and improving insulin sensitivity. It's especially helpful for stress-related weight gain, brain fog, or energy crashes throughout the day. A warm cup of holy basil tea in the afternoon isn't just relaxing, it's doing work behind the scenes to support your endocrine and immune systems. C. Dandelion, the gentle detoxifier. Often dismissed as a common weed, Dandelion is actually one of the most powerful natural detoxifiers available to us. It's rich in compounds that support liver function, and that's a big deal. Especially as we age, the liver plays a central role in processing fat, cholesterol, and excess blood sugar. But as we get older, the liver can become sluggish, and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD, becomes increasingly common. Dandelion acts as a mild diuretic, helping the body flush out excess fluid and toxins, while also encouraging better bile production, a key factor in fat metabolism. This isn't just about detox as a buzzword. A well-supported liver can mean better blood sugar control, more balanced cholesterol, and even a lighter feeling around the midsection. D. Peppermint and lemon balm, the digestive duo. When it comes to calming the digestive system, few herbs do it better than peppermint and lemon balm. Both have gentle carminative properties, meaning they help reduce gas, bloating, and indigestion. This is especially useful after large meals or when digestion feels sluggish, which becomes more common with age. But these leaves do more than soothe the stomach. Lemon balm in particular has been shown to reduce cortisol and support stable blood sugar, making it useful for people who experience cravings or emotional eating. Peppermint, on the other hand, may help curb appetite slightly, support bile flow, and has even been linked to better metabolic performance in preliminary studies. Together, they make a perfect pair for seniors who want a calm mind and a more comfortable belly, without reaching for over-the-counter medications. E. Avocado leaf, the hidden gem. Last but not least, let's talk about something you might not expect, the avocado leaf. While the fruit gets all the glory, the leaf of the avocado plant contains compounds like quercetin, polyphenols, and flavonoids that have demonstrated anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and hypoglycemic effects in early research. Some studies suggest it may help improve insulin function, reduce liver fat, support healthy cholesterol levels. However, a word of caution here: avocado leaves vary by region and species, and some can contain compounds that are not safe in high amounts or for long-term use. That's why avocado leaf should only be used under professional guidance, preferably with a healthcare provider who understands both herbal medicine and your personal medical history. Expert insight. No one leaf fix. Here's a truth that bears repeating. No herb is a silver bullet, but when used appropriately, these can complement your doctor's care plan. That's the key word: complement, not replace. Natural therapies work best when integrated thoughtfully, alongside proper medication, nutrition, movement, and rest. Each of these leaves offers something unique, whether it's blood sugar balance, stress support, liver detox, or digestive comfort. The real power comes not from using one of them, but from understanding how they fit into the bigger picture of your health. And in the next section, we'll talk about how to avoid some of the most common myths and mistakes when using herbs like these, so you can take full advantage of what nature has to offer, without falling for empty promises. Let's continue. Let's pause for a moment and address something important, something that's often misunderstood when we talk about natural remedies. There's a common belief floating around the internet these days that one miracle leaf can cure everything, whether it's diabetes, high cholesterol, or stubborn belly fat. Let me be clear. From a medical perspective, there is no such thing as a cure-all leaf. Not olive leaf, not mulberry, not dandelion. Yes, many of these plants contain beneficial compounds. Yes, they can support the body's natural healing processes. And yes, they've been used effectively for centuries in traditional medicine. But none of them, on their own, can reverse chronic health conditions without broader changes. Here's what science tells us. Long-term health improvement comes from synergy. That means the interaction of multiple factors: your diet, your movement, your sleep, your mindset, your medications when needed, and yes, natural support like herbal teas or extracts. Think of it like this. A single leaf might support your metabolism, but without stable meals, regular activity, and proper medical care, it's like trying to patch a leaky roof with a napkin. We also need to talk about over-reliance on teas and supplements. Just because something is natural doesn't mean it's harmless in high doses. Some herbs can interfere with medications. Others can overwork the kidneys or liver if taken improperly. That's why self-dosing without guidance can be risky, especially for older adults who may already be managing multiple prescriptions. Another dangerous trap? Neglecting medical treatment entirely in favor of herbs. We've seen cases where people stopped checking their blood sugar or skipped their prescribed medications because they believed a plant alone would fix everything. Unfortunately, that usually leads to complications, not healing. So what's the takeaway? Use herbs wisely. Use them as a support system, not a substitute. Use them to enhance your care, not replace it. Because when used responsibly, and with the guidance of a knowledgeable provider, these natural allies can absolutely help move the needle in your favor. But we must stay rooted in reality, not wishful thinking. Coming up next, we'll explore how to use these herbal supports safely and effectively, with practical strategies that fit into your everyday life. Let's keep going. Personalized strategy. How to use these leaves safely. By now, you might be thinking, okay, I'm interested, but how do I actually start using these herbs safely and effectively? Great question. Let's talk about how to bring these healing leaves into your life, not in a trendy or extreme way, but in a measured, thoughtful, and personalized strategy that works for your body and your health goals. 1. Choose the right format for your needs. Most of these leaves are available in a few common forms. Teas. This is one of the gentlest and safest ways to begin. A warm infusion helps extract the beneficial compounds without overwhelming your system. Extracts or tinctures. These are concentrated liquid forms, often more potent. If you're going this route, make sure it's from a trusted source, and ideally guided by a professional. Capsules or powders, convenient for consistency, but pay close attention to the dosage and source. More is not always better. Fresh or dried in cooking. Herbs like basil, oregano, and parsley are easy to work into meals for everyday micro support. If you're new to herbal wellness, start with teas. They're low risk, easy to monitor, and pleasant to enjoy. 2. Frequency, dosage, and sourcing tips. Frequency. 1 to 2 cups of herbal tea daily is generally safe for most healthy adults. If using an extract or supplement, follow the label, or better yet, speak with a healthcare provider familiar with herbs. Dosage. The correct amount varies by leaf and person. For example, olive leaf extract might be effective at 500 to 1000 milligrams per day, while peppermint tea can be consumed more freely. Sourcing. Always choose organic or pesticide-free herbs when possible. Reputable brands will list the part of the plant used, leaf versus root, etc. Extraction method. Third-party testing for purity. Avoid cheap, unverified products sold through sketchy online shops. What you put into your body should meet the same quality standards as your medications or food. 3. Who should be cautious or avoid these herbs? Herbs are powerful, which is why not everyone should use them freely. If you fall into one of the following groups, talk to your doctor before starting any new herbal remedy. People on blood thinners, like warfarin or aspirin. Herbs like parsley and dandelion can affect clotting. Anyone with kidney disease or kidney stones. Certain herbs have diuretic properties that may place extra strain on the kidneys. Those with autoimmune conditions. Some herbs stimulate the immune system, which could trigger flare-ups. Individuals on multiple medications. Herbal interactions are real. Even mint or lemon balm may interfere with thyroid medication. For example, a good rule of thumb is this: if you wouldn't start a new prescription without consulting your doctor, don't start a new herb without the same caution. 4. A simple checklist for safe herbal use. Here's a practical guide to follow as you explore herbal support. Talk to your doctor first, especially if you're taking medications or managing chronic conditions. Monitor changes over time. Keep a health journal. Write down what herb you started, what dose, and when. Track your body's response. Notice energy levels, digestion, sleep quality, glucose readings, if applicable, and mood. Subtle shifts matter. Start small, go slow. Try one herb at a time. That way, if something feels off, you'll know exactly what's causing it. Think long-term, not overnight. Herbs often work gently and gradually, not like a fast-acting pharmaceutical. Give it time. Be patient. Natural doesn't mean automatic, but when used wisely, these plants can become a powerful part of your health journey, supporting you in ways that feel gentle, sustainable, and in tune with how your body naturally wants to heal. In the next section, we'll look at real-life examples, stories of people who've used these leaves successfully, and the lessons we can learn from both their wins and their mistakes. Stay with us, because this is where theory meets real life. Now let's bring all of this information to life with some real examples. Over the years, I've seen how the right approach to herbal support, used carefully and in coordination with broader lifestyle changes, can truly make a difference. I've also seen what happens when people dive in without understanding the risks. Let me introduce you to 3 individuals who took very different paths. Joe, 71, reversing pre-diabetes with mulberry and fasting. Joe came to our clinic just after his 71st birthday. His A1C had crept up into the pre-diabetic range. His energy was low, his waistline was expanding, and his doctor was starting to talk about medication. Joe didn't want to jump straight into pills. He asked if there was anything he could try naturally. As a first step, after a full consultation, lab work, and careful review of his lifestyle, we agreed on a plan. We introduced mulberry leaf tea, twice a day, especially after carbohydrate-rich meals. Mulberry helps slow down the absorption of sugars in the gut, and it fit nicely with another intervention we added, intermittent fasting on a 14-10 schedule. That meant fasting for 14 hours, eating within a 10-hour window, and staying mindful about carbs and snacks. 3 months later, Joe's A1C had dropped back to normal. He lost 11 pounds, his energy was back, and he did it all without medication, just through smart lifestyle choices. Guided by careful planning and consistency. Linda, 65, easing bloating, sleeping better, and losing weight. Linda was 65, retired, and constantly feeling uncomfortable, bloated after meals, struggling to fall asleep, and frustrated that the scale hadn't budged in years. She wasn't diabetic or on major medication, but she felt off. Her digestion was sluggish, and she was waking up tired every morning. After ruling out medical causes, we focused on gentle digestive support. Linda began drinking peppermint tea in the afternoon to reduce bloating and holy basil, tulsi, tea in the evening to calm her nerves and improve her sleep. We also added light stretching in the morning and evening to support circulation. Within 3 months, Linda lost 8 pounds, most of it around her midsection. More importantly, she felt better. Her sleep improved, her digestion became regular, and her mood stabilized. Her case was a reminder that sometimes, it's the little daily rituals, done consistently, that add up to real change. Thomas, 75, when do-it-yourself goes too far. And then there's Thomas. At 75, Thomas was sharp, independent, and incredibly curious about natural health. He'd read about a popular herbal detox online that promised to flush toxins, melt belly fat, and reboot his metabolism. It included olive leaf extract, dandelion tea, parsley juice, and several other components, all at once. He dove in headfirst, without consulting his doctor, without adjusting his medications, and without any clear understanding of how these herbs interacted. Within 2 weeks, Thomas started feeling dizzy, weak, and crampy. A blood test revealed an electrolyte imbalance, likely caused by excessive fluid loss and potassium depletion. We had to stop the detox immediately and work to stabilize his system. The good news? He recovered, but it was a cautionary tale. The takeaway: personalization beats popularity. What worked for Joe didn't work for Thomas. That's why wisdom matters more than enthusiasm. These stories highlight something every senior needs to hear. Herbs are powerful, but so is your individuality. What supports one person might harm another. That's why a personalized, medically aware approach is always the smartest path forward. And when that approach includes herbal support, used with care and intention, it can be the missing piece that makes all the difference. Up next, we'll talk about how to combine these insights into a holistic approach to aging well, with practical advice on blending modern medicine, lifestyle changes, and natural healing in one simple, balanced plan. Let's move forward. Integrative approach, combining modern medicine and nature. Let's talk now about what truly brings long-term, meaningful results, especially when you're managing chronic health conditions like high cholesterol, elevated blood sugar, or metabolic fatigue. The truth is, it's not about choosing between modern medicine and natural remedies. It's about learning how to bring them together intelligently, safely, and sustainably. How healing leaves can complement medical treatment. For many people, leaves like olive, mulberry, holy basil, and dandelion can serve as powerful complements to your prescribed care, not replacements. Let's look at a few examples. Metformin or statins. If you're on metformin for blood sugar or statins for cholesterol, some herbs may enhance the benefits of those medications. For instance, olive leaf has been shown to further improve lipid profiles. Mulberry tea can help reduce post-meal glucose spikes, adding another layer of support alongside metformin. But here's the key. Combining the two must be monitored. Why? Because if the herb starts enhancing the effect too much, it may lead to low blood sugar or too low LDL levels. Your doctor can help you find the balance. Dietary plans like Mediterranean or DASH. Adding herbs to a whole food-based eating pattern, like the Mediterranean diet or the DASH diet, makes the effect even more powerful. These diets already emphasize leafy greens, whole grains, healthy fats, moderate carbs and protein. When you layer in supportive herbal teas, such as peppermint for digestion or holy basil for stress, you're giving your body more tools to process nutrients, reduce inflammation, and stabilize energy. Gentle movement, walking, yoga, stretching. Physical activity doesn't have to mean marathons or gym memberships. Just a 20-minute walk after dinner can help stabilize blood sugar, improve circulation, support lymphatic drainage. When combined with natural supports like dandelion tea, which encourages gentle detoxification, or lemon balm, which relaxes the nervous system, you create a synergistic healing environment for your body. Your doctor is not the enemy, they're your partner. One of the biggest myths I see in wellness spaces is this idea that doctors don't want you to get better naturally. As someone who's practiced medicine for over 25 years, let me tell you, that couldn't be further from the truth. Good doctors want you to thrive. They want you to sleep well, eat better, move more, and take fewer medications when it's safe to do so. The best outcomes happen when patients and doctors work together, openly and respectfully, combining the best of both worlds. So if you're exploring herbal support, bring it up with your physician. Print out a label, bring the tea, show them what you're taking. Let them be part of the conversation. That way, you'll avoid interactions, stay safe, and feel empowered, not overwhelmed. When modern science meets the wisdom of nature, the results can be extraordinary. Not because of magic, but because of alignment between your body, your choices, and your care plan. Up next, we'll reflect on the bigger picture and the timeless lesson that health is not about finding one perfect solution, but about putting the pieces together, one wise choice at a time. As we come to the end of this journey, let's take a step back and reflect. We've explored over a dozen remarkable leaves, each one with its own history, benefits, and healing potential. But if there's one message to take away from all of this, it's this: nature is powerful, but it works best in context. These plants don't work in isolation. They work with your body, not instead of your body. They don't replace your medications, your meals, or your daily habits. They enhance them when used wisely. Use plant wisdom alongside medical insight. That's how you get the most out of natural healing, by bringing it into the bigger picture. Use what's been passed down from generations before us, but pair it with what science knows today. And remember, progress doesn't come from miracles. It comes from consistency, from paying attention, from making one small smart choice, then another. It's about building momentum, not chasing magic. You don't need to change your whole life overnight. Just begin. One leaf, one habit, one gentle step toward the health you deserve. If this video gave you something to think about, or if you've already used any of these healing herbs in your life, we'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below. Which leaf have you tried? Did you notice a difference? What's your experience been like? Subscribe to Senior Health Boost for more science-backed natural health tips designed especially for older adults. We cover everything from nutrition and herbal wellness to energy, sleep, and cognitive health, always with clarity and care. And don't forget to check the link in the description to download your free copy of our Herbal Guide for Seniors. It's a simple, beautifully designed resource that breaks down key herbs, their uses, and safety tips, all in one place. Remember, your health journey is unique, but you're never alone. We're here to support you every step of the way. Until next time, take good care of yourself, and let nature be your partner in aging well.